Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again with Renegade Master, your Dreadlock caster, RedRipz, right here from an episode of CasualCraft. And in today's game, we've got a nice TVP setup going on, and we've got in the top right-hand corner of the map the red Terran player Dabs, who probably smokes herbs, our brother from another mother, and today's sister from another mister. Here in the bottom left-hand corner, the star of Monday's CasualCraft, you might remember, were EXTRAneous, who apparently enjoyed the game last time so much that he sent me another one to cast. So here we go. We'll be going in with this one today. Here on, was it Yeoman or something this map's called now? I actually can't remember the name of the damn thing. Yonsu LE it's called, apparently. So yeah, with some Ronseal LE going on, we'll have a little explore on the maps. This is one of the new maps of the new season here. So if we just have a look on the nice large main base with some cool little hidden areas for secret little pylons and stuff. We've got the second down the low ground here. This winds right down to a third over on the far side here, and then there's obviously some destructible rocks down to a fourth at the bottom here, or whatever really you fancy. And obviously that spreads out across through. There's loads of high and low grounds. We've got Zelnaga watchtowers, and that's all mirrored directly across the other side of the map on the snowy side here up at the top right hand corner. Now with Dabs going for his barracks first. He's playing very standard. He's going to be walling this in before too long, stop any Zerg run-bys, all looking very tasty. Now this is a silver and gold league game, so we should expect, you know, just general good things out of these players. You know, they're not complete noobs. They might not necessarily be perfect with all their timings and builds and all this kind of thing, but they should have a general idea what's going on, let's face it. So yeah, as I say, I'm RedRipz. This is CasualCraft once again, and we'll take this from here, I suppose. So I'll just double check my mic's on. Yep, all looking good. I've done that one before. And we're getting a little assimilator here out of EXTRAneous first. He's not getting the second one down, so he's not doing anything too gas heavy too early, I wouldn't imagine. We're getting the gateway out here as well. We should be seeing a Cybernex core coming down behind this, and there we go. All very standard play here out of EXTRAneous. He knows what he's doing. Meanwhile, obviously Dabs up at the top right hand corner of the map here. Dabs is he's going to be getting out his orbital command upgrade. All very Terran standard. And what's he going to be building now? Are we going to see 111? We're going to see a command centre. Cool. So he's going to get a barracks down first, followed by a command centre up. I often like to see this down before the racks, because I'm just a macro-y Zerg player, but then that's just me, really. I don't think there's a better way of doing things other than... It's personal preference, I guess, and obviously it leaves you really, really weak to early all-ins if you've got absolutely nothing on the front. He's also choosing to build this on the high ground, which is actually really safe, so he's generally playing pretty safe here. I mean, basically build it up here, pack the thing up, stick it down here, and have fun from there on in. Now, meanwhile, down the bottom left, we've got EXTRAneous here. He's got his Cybernex core down now. He's looks like he's saving up for something, so I imagine we'll be seeing units coming out before too long here. Looks all very good. I'm not quite sure why we haven't got the Warpgate research started yet. You're going to be right on top of that if you can, mate. But it's all looking good. Meanwhile, we've got the second base down here for EXTRAneous. He's all looking good. He's going to be walling this across. This is actually quite a nice area for a wall here, because you can block it, but your opponent still has options other than just trying to assault the front directly. So just either going through these rocks, or I guess you could probably push up here and look at this area here. This is just the perfect place to run in. And then just come in and drop over this line there. So yeah, it's a pretty dangerous little map, this. As I say, I'm not overly familiar with it enough. It seems to be one that's getting vetoed a lot on ladder, or at least I'm not coming across it that often. We've got 3 racks down now out of Dabs. He's not getting his factory up yet, despite the double gas. So he's I'd imagine he's going to be getting something that uses gas out before too long, unless he's going to go heavy Marauders or something, because there's just no way he needs this much gas this early, really. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine. He's getting his Marines out. We're seeing the bunker on the low ground now. We're going to see this thing command centre move down onto the second base as well. All very good. Let's get a drink of water. Today's show sponsored by Kahu of I guess they make beer in Finland, and that glass is filthy, disgusting. Oh well. So yeah, with that going on, we've got Dabs coming down here now. All very good, looking sexy. We've got EXTRAneous doing his stuff here at the bottom. Not really that much to say at this point, to be honest. It's just the sort of the general crack coming together. Now we're actually seeing a factory coming out of Dabs here now, so that's good news. I actually thought that was a third rack then, fourth rack then, but no, it's a factory. So we've got the factory coming down out of him. All very standard stuff behind the 3 racks. After you've got your expansion down, get your factory down, and then start looking to more barracks if you're going mass bio. I mean, I imagine he's going bio. He's getting sort of the right sort of things for it. He's getting the double engineering bay down now as well, of course. So yeah, it looks like we'll be seeing a bio build out of Dabs here in this this PVT game here on Yonsu. I'm gonna like. That's a bloody awful name for a map. Yonsu doesn't even make sense. But it's all good. It's all good. So with that, we're gonna be getting the extra gateways out behind this. Nice, very nice. Got the forge down now. It's gonna be starting to get the upgrades here. Double forge actually. So looks like EXTRAneous is actually really getting his crap together on the old upgrades banter. I really like that. I always like players that get lots of upgrades out because it just makes your troops so much stronger and you just win your engagements more easily. Makes it a lot easier on you. Meanwhile, obviously Starport coming down here for Dabs as well. He's going to be continuing to get his bio composition together. He should be looking to take a third before too long, as we're not really seeing any pressure out of either player yet. In fact, I'm not even sure. It's either player even moved out across the map yet. I don't think we've seen. Oh, we saw a little bit of scouting early on from Dabs. He's seen some of the basics, but nothing too out of this world really. So I don't think either player is too aware of what his opponent's doing at this point in the game. That's one thing to improve. I mean, obviously, the thing with scouting is everyone recommends scouting. The problem is you kind of need to know what you're looking for. Like, if you don't know what the other races actually do all that well, then there's not really that much you're going to get out of scouting them. And I'm not saying don't scout, because really what I'm trying to say is that you should sit and play the other races a whole bunch, try and work out their tech paths and things, make sure you know what they're doing. Like, at least vaguely. I mean, you don't need to know builds necessarily, but like sort of, you know, if there's a lot of barracks and we're seeing engineering base down, that means bio. It's kind of what I'm getting at. And with the armory coming down behind this as well, I guess we'll be getting out the Widow Mine, the Hellbats actually, which would be quite nice. Either that or it's perhaps for... I'm not sure. I guess we're getting out the Widow Mines, the Hellbats. Sorry. We're going to be seeing some Medivacs out as well here, and this little force will be moving out for Dabs now as he's looking to try and secure some map control here with his Marines out across the map. Meanwhile, EXTRAneous is actually just chilling. He's got his Stalkers out, got a few Zealots, he's got a Sentry down. He hasn't really walled in at the front here. I mean, to be honest, it'd be quite nice. What you could do is you can put these gateways across the front, and that just gives you a much tighter choke to work with. Although I guess if you've got a lot of Zealots, really you don't want the choke because you want to actually be able to engage your opponent. So I guess it's sort of a composition-based wall, really. And as a Zerg player, I'm just used to everybody walling up all the time because no one wants you in their base ever. Whereas in these sort of games where you've got sort of Protoss versus Terran and things, it's a little bit more variation in that respect, I suppose. But anyway, we'll see. We've got the two Zealots wandering out across the map now, trying to take the Zelnagas, but actually looks like Dabs might be trying to come in for a drop, possibly, or maybe just coming in to take a pile on and lose a chunk of his force in the process, maybe. No, he's just going to micro the crap out of them. God, I really love watching Marines being like really microed, like especially when they're microed into your opponent like that. It's like, yeah, it's a bit silly, but it's all good. It's all good. He's actually managed to supply block EXTRAneous, so that should put EXTRAneous behind a little bit, which is it's good to see. I mean, he tried, and it actually worked pretty well in the end. He didn't really lose anything. He's still building forces here at the front. He could do with just making sure he's on top of all that, getting out his. Oh, he's got out all the various basic upgrades he needs now. Are we going to be seeing any of this out of here then? What are we seeing here? We're getting a Ghost... Oh, right, okay. So we're getting the Ghost Academy down. I see what we're doing now. Also getting more barracks out. So it looks like we'll be having plenty of Ghosts out nice and early. It's exactly what I want against Protoss, because Protoss just sits there and goes, well, I'm just going to go Archons and just... with my lightning fists, punching your troops from a distance, and then you basically end up with everything dying unless you've got pro splits. So with that in mind, yeah, it's a really good idea to get the Ghost down. You can just chimp away their shields instantly with a nice EMP and basically insta-jib them because they've only got 10 health. So that's all very good. Now, Dabs here, gathering his stuff again at the front. He looks like he's going to be moving in once more, see if he can do some damage here. He's going for 2-2 now, which is good as well. I think both players are actually on... Yeah, we've got 2-2 already out of our Protoss player here, so he's actually ahead on upgrades, which is good. He even got a supply lead as well. So generally, I think EXTRAneous is macroing slightly harder. I'd really like to see a third base out of either player. I know that Dabs has already started building one, so he should be moving out with that before too long. But it does look like we could see a drop here at the bottom. Might wait and see. I mean, to be honest, I'd like a multi-prong drop, and that's actually what Dabs is going to be doing here. He's going to be moving in this one at the main. The army should pull back, and then he should be able to drop the second without too much bother. He just needs to be careful and see what EXTRAneous does to try and stop this. And it's little drops like these are so effective if you just sort of stay on top of them and actually know he's just going to take that drop in before the army moves out and lose the second drop straight away. However, in the main base, just like Dabs is actually going to be clearing up pretty much all of the supply line. And that's really bad news for EXTRAneous. He's now only down to one base, which is a big shame really. We've got the Archons out, which is great, but unfortunately they're actually going to struggle to defend much of that. The Twilight Council is dropping as well there. We're going to see this drop move out before it can be stopped. I don't think we're going to... is it? Oh, not quite getting around 8 health there with that many back there. That was unfortunate for EXTRAneous. It would a couple more stalkers out and he would have actually killed that. It's really unfortunate for him, but no, he didn't see it quite early enough, so he's actually managed to lose most of that. So it looks like he's going to have to chrono boost out a whole bunch of probes back into this main again. Otherwise he's going to be really struggling with his economy here. It's not quite so good position to be in, since he doesn't have a third base at all, and with our Terran player on 2 full saturated bases now and a third one also producing additional moves. Looks like he'll be moving out, trying to take a third. Is he going down here? He's going up the top base. Okay, that's fair enough. So our Terran player is going to be taking a third base. EXTRAneous, meanwhile, is still researching Storm, so he's not going to be making any use of the High Templars that he had. Oh, I don't think he's not actually warped it anymore yet at this stage. It's going to be pure Archon composition. These will be tanking loads and loads of damage, and actually we should see a lot of this force die, to be honest, if we get a reasonable engagement out of EXTRAneous. He just needs to make sure that he can get his Zealots in. Now, the Zealots are going to get caught behind the Archons if he's not careful, so it needs to be a little bit of an issue there, but the Archons should be able to punch through most of this. They need to try and target down the Medivacs if they can. And sticking to the big crowds of Marines. And actually it looks like we're just going to be seeing a lot of the Archons falling here without doing too much in the way of damage there. That was really unfortunate there for EXTRAneous. He's actually losing most of his army now, and to be honest, with the sort of the nice engagement of Dabs there, moving around and letting EXTRAneous just move a little bit further in to get, he's managed to get the full surround on EXTRAneous, and basically EXTRAneous had his stuff destroyed, which is really unfortunate. It felt like he could have done a little bit more damage there, but no, it doesn't really matter. He's going to have to pull back and try and rebuild his army and make sure that he's not falling too far behind. We're also seeing the first ghost coming out here out of Dabs, so the Archon composition is only going to get worse from this stage on as long as Dabs is making full use of those EMPs. So it's it's generally sort of a case of the engagements here at this point. I mean, like, I know, well, it was a case of the engagements, I should say. At this point, Dabs has double the supply of EXTRAneous in. We've just had a quick look at the units tab. We've got an extra 20 workers for Dabs there, and his army's just massively bigger, with 25 Marines and 4 Marauders to a mere 7 Zealots and a whole High Templar on his own. When Storm, I think Storm's actually finished now, so that's better. Another little engagement here at the front here. I don't think we're going to be seeing too much coming out of EXTRAneous here. I think this Archon's going to straight up die, and this is looking really bad here for EXTRAneous. Really unfortunate, to be honest. It's he had a little bit more of an army composition. He was looking pretty good, but unfortunately he just didn't quite get the engagement that he needed on that ramp, and that's essentially allowed Dabs to pull away with the game. So yeah, another good game there out of EXTRAneous. It's nice to see him again. I'm sure we'll be casting more of his games in the future. He's a pretty fun player to watch. It's all good, and I like supporting individual people. It's nice to have some recurring characters and stuff like that in my casts. So welcome back once again, EXTRAneous. It's been another good game, but unfortunately you won't be the victor this time. So good game to both players. I've been RedRipz. You're a casual crafter, dreadlock caster, renegade master, GG tracker. Yeah, running out of things that rhyme now. So with that, thanks once again to both players. Like, follow, subscribe, all those beautiful things that you can do to my videos. And stick around, there'll be more content every day this week, hopefully. This video should be on before too long as well, I hope. So yeah, thanks once again for watching. GG both players, and good evening and good night.